We'll see if it falls on you. Is it recording?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right, let's see if your wonky setup can last the whole time.
Yeah, you'll just hear a big, I don't know, I feel like I've already lost it a little bit. Let's see, hold on.
Good.
Okay. We're just gonna say that's good.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi. I guess I'll start. I'm Marika.
And I'm Coco.
And we are
two friends who like to knit. And we're going to talk about it on this podcast. I'm in Los Angeles.
I'm in Albuquerque.
Am I supposed to say anything else?
I think that's it. I would like to apologize for the horrendous lighting I had last episode. I'm trying to fix it today. It's a little iffy what I've rigged up, so we'll see how it goes. But hopefully it's better. And again, apologies.
I would like to make a public apology for allowing that into the edit, but I could not do anything with it. So anyways, it hasn't been that long since we podcasted last, which is great. Hopefully we'll be on a better schedule, a newer schedule, but we make no promises here. Mm-hmm. But I have finished so many things that I kind of forced Marika's hand or not finished, could we say started with abandon so many things that I forced Marika's hand, and she's just gonna sit here and listen to me maybe.
Yeah, and I desperately tried to finish one thing, but I always forget how intense a tubular bind off is and that it takes me days. And so yesterday I was like, oh, I'll be able, I'm on the ribbing. This will be a piece of cake. I'll just do the ribbing and then bind off, and then it's short sleeve. It'll be great. And at 2 a.m, when I was still doing the tubular bind off, I was like, oh, it's not going to make it.
You were like, I'm totally going to surprise her. She won't know.
Yeah, I'm going to pop up wearing it. I went to the coffee shop this morning, so I had my outfit planned using the shirt, and it was like, oh, no, you're going to have to come up with some plan B.
So you went
with this?
Yeah.
My Comanche election shirt. And I learned a new way to tie it in the front from TikTok. So trying to stay current and relevant, even though I have been called an internet boomer in recent weeks.
Right. Yes. It's not nice having younger coworkers. Mm-hmm. I don't appreciate them sometimes.
Yeah. And I was like, I will never give up my use of GIFs.
Yeah. And GIFs apparently are not wanted anymore. Mm-hmm. But you got the center part. You've got a new entire t-shirt. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to clock you out on the street until they see your internet usage.
Yeah. Or all of my white hair. That's just gifts and white hair. Those are my two dead giveaways of my.
Right. What were you supposed to do anyways? Finished objects.
Yes.
I have finished the Wool and Honey by Andrea Mowry.
It looks so good.
It blocked out a lot better than I thought it was going to. So you can see there you go. You can see the bottom. I don't even have to stand up. That's because I make my stuff real short. But it kind of, when I showed you guys last time, you could see it was like a little cinched in around the ribbing. And when it blocked out, it just all flattened and released nicely. And it's got this straight look to it, which is great. That's exactly what I wanted. And I was very nervous that I had somehow knit the ribbing too tight, but it worked out. Also, I will say it's like 65, 68 degrees here over the last couple of days because it's overcast. And this is the perfect weight sweater. It's just like, I guess because it's square and it kind of floats away from the body, it's like, I am so comfortable. I'm watching my husband's fighting with, should I wear a hoodie? Should I not wear a hoodie? And I was like, you really should have one of these sweaters. It's perfect. Because I've got enough space here that air can flow out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Keeping the wrist open keeps me a little bit cooler. And then this is the perfect away from the body. So I'm just like, I'm so comfortable right now. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's
really
always great when you get like, when you're really happy with how it looks and it functions really well and you're like, oh, I did it.
Yeah. It's like the perfect nexus
Mm-hmm.
of all the things you want in your knits.
All my dreams came true with this one.
So when I was knitting it, you heard me go like back and forth on like, I don't know, this yarn isn't that good. I don't know, this yarn's kind of okay. It's definitely not a contender to be one of my favorites, but after I blocked it, I just feel like, and wearing it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a great weight yarn for me. It's a great kind of almost, it's rustic, but not too rustic. And it's not as heavy as I thought it was going to be when I was knitting it.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty light and it has like a nice drape, but still some structure to it.
And this is the Mondim. If you watched last podcast, you know, but it's the Rosa Pomar Retrosario Mondim. It does feel very Hispanic family name. I don't know why there's so many names. And I say that as a person whose mother is Hispanic, but I'm just saying, like, I never know which order of the names is the correct one. You know, I should probably do more research there. But for short, it's the Mondim yarn, and the color is taupe, I think.
And what's the weight?
It's a fingering weight yarn.
Okay.
It's supposed to be, I think it's made for socks.
Mm.
And it seems like it would make a great sock, so I am actually making a pair of socks with it.
Nice. I like the idea of matching your sweater to your socks.
If only I would get it together that much to like wear the right socks at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of socks, I've got one more finished object. I finally finished these. Oof, that colors. This is the winter frost pattern. I cast these on like a year ago, and I just never got it together to really work on them and finish them. Mm-hmm. But again, part of like everything being packed away, these were also one that I kind of had left out just as now's the time to get to it, and I finally finished them. So nice. It's also my first pair of socks that have a distinct left and right, because the little pattern on the outside.
Oh, goes on the outside of the foot. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting very like dragon fruit vibes from them. I love it.
These are both KnitPicks yarns. This I think is the Hawthorne, and this one is maybe also Hawthorne, but I can't remember. This one called like City Lights or something like that. It's got a really gray tone to the white, and I have another pair of socks that I knit in it, and I hate it. They always look dirty. So I'm just trying to eat up some of that yarn, so I decided to do just the top cuff and then the rest of it in this hot pink. And I like them. They bring me lots of joy, and I'm happy to wear them. Now that I've shown them to you, I'm actually going to slip them on right now because I stole a pair of my husband's socks that I knit him this morning because I couldn't find my slippers, and the heel is all up around my ankle. It's just not a great fit. So I'm going to slip these on now.
Nice.
So do you want to go on to works in progress while I'm changing my socks out like Mr. Rogers?
Sure. Those are all your finished objects?
That's it.
All right. My work in progress is the same as it was last time, the Fonda. We're further along. This was the bind off I was trying to get through last night, which I did not. So you'll see where we're at right now. So this is where we're at currently.
So you've already done the sleeves and everything, or like what were you gonna get through?
No, I still have to do the sleeves. So the sleeves are just on waste yarn. So I have to go through and pick up put these back on the needles, pick up some stitches. But the sleeves aren't super long, so I don't think the sleeves will take me that long. What's taken me forever is this guy down here.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've still got that much left to do.
Do you love the look of a tubular bind off?
I'm a little on it. I'll have to see. What I like is the flexibility it affords, but I don't necessarily think it's the cleanest look.
I just always feel like it's so much effort for, I'm just not sure anyone is gonna notice.
Yeah, and I guess it's kind of my OCD tendencies too, in that I have the tubular cast on for the collar. So it's like, I need everything to look the same, like all the finishes need to match kind of thing. You know, so.
That's what makes you a good conscious knitter. I don't, if I do, I think on my weekender, I think I like did not do it as the cast on, because I was like, it's on the bottom, no one's gonna notice. And then I did it on the neckline, and then I didn't do it on the cuffs, because after the neckline, I was like, I know I did that wrong, and I'm not doing it again. So that one is hodgepodge.
The one thing I did stray from the pattern with was the ribbing width at the bottom. So I think I did an inch less than was recommended, because I tried it on before I started the rib. And it was like, you know, because I kind of wanted it to hit like at the waist, or just have the rib hit just below the waist. And so when I tried it on, it was hitting already at the waist. And so I was like, if I had done the full rib, which I think was 3 inches, I'm not sure, I feel like it just would have been too wide and gone too long. And I also didn't want extra weight to like potentially pull it down even further with the cotton. So I only did a 2-inch rib. But I think visually it looks good, because the collar is, it kind of like looks a similar width to the collar in terms of like balancing it out.
Yeah. This one, I forgot, like I guess I just like spaced out on seeing the other people's finished ones. I had no idea that the rib on this sleeve was so long. And when I got to it, she was like 5.5 inches of ribbing. I was like, and then I went back and I had to go look at everyone else's, and I was like, oh dang, I never noticed that there is that much ribbing on the sleeves. So yeah, that, I don't know. It just reminded me that it caught me off guard on this one, that I figured it would be similar to the neckline. I was like, okay, I'll do a little bit of ribbing when I get down to the bottom. And then when I read it, I was like, oh dang, this is like the most ribbing I've ever done on a sleeve. Fingers crossed for when you block it. Hope it all goes well.
Yeah, so hopefully by the time we film next, that'll be done. And yeah, so that's the only real work in progress I have that I've actually done work on.
Well, strap in. Here we go.
All right, let's do it.
First off, I'll start with, I started a new pair of socks. Let me not drop stuff inside my coffee. All right, I'm just doing a vanilla sock. Nothing impressive, but this is a West Yorkshire Spinners self-striping yarn that I really love. This it's called Owl is the colorway. I just love this kind of rustic looking thing. And so this is the Mondim from my sweater. So they'll match, but they won't match. The only interesting thing about this is I was listening to someone else's podcast, and I wish I could remember which one it was, but I watch hundreds of podcasts a week, and I can't remember who it was. But somebody was talking, I think it was actually the Forest City Knit Girls. They were talking about how one of the girls is getting into sock knitting or trying to get back into it, and it's been a while. And she was, I think, trying on 9-inch circulars and not having very much success. And then she bought these Chiagu, they're over there. I think it's called Twist Shorties. And basically it's a kit that comes with 2 pairs of needles. And one of the needles is like this shorter one, and one of the needles is this longer one. And if you put the two together with the short one on the right and the long one on the left, it makes the 9-inch circular knitting process a little more forgiving than when they're both like the exact same length, the exact same shortness. So I went online and I, of course, bought them because I wanted to see if it worked, and I love it. They definitely do kind of help with that like little tight feeling. Mm-hmm. The only problem is I feel like one of the sets, the cord, the thread on the where you screw in the needle, I think the thread's messed up and I could not get any of the needles screwed into it. So while I have 4 tips, that I don't have, the cord just doesn't seem to be catching the needles. So I've only got 1 cord technically from that set. So that's a little unfortunate. I was kind of upset that happened, but these are so much easier on the hands than just the short 9-inch circulars. And now I'm like, no, I got all of these 9-inch circulars because I hate magic looping. I always get the little ladders on the side from like my tension being weird when I pull that first thing. I don't know, but these are going well. I like these new needles, and
yeah, I like the way that's striping, you know, because it's not just like a regular stripe. It's so cool how it kind of like creates little patterns as well.
Yeah, the little jacquard or whatever they call it. And you get so much.
Damn.
This is the same that you used for your really long tall socks.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, the 4-ply, yeah.
The Worcestershire
spinners.
The West Yorkshire spinners signature 4-ply in owl. I love it. I'm gonna be making socks for the entire family out of this one ball.
Yeah, I mean, I made a sock that could cover my entire leg.
Right.
And I still had some left over from a single ball.
So I like this. This is just going in the background. I like to do a shorter cuff because I have very generous calves. So I'm going to do a shorter cuff. I'm almost ready to start the heel on that. So hopefully these won't take me a full calendar year the way that the Winter's Frost ones did. And that's nothing to do with the pattern. Actually, I felt like having that side lace bit actually helped me do them faster because there was always something to look forward to. I'd get around to the end, do the little lace, get around, you know. But I don't know. It just took me forever. Okay, so that was number 1 on the WIPs. Number 2, I heard about the Andrea Mowry March to May knit along. And because I had so many Andrea Mowry things on my Make 9, I decided to go ahead and cast on the next one as part of the cal. So I'll have this one, and then I also started the stone crop, which if you happen to follow our Instagram, you would have seen I put a photo on it. But this is the stone crop pullover.
Oh, good.
And the lighting gets weird. I bought this yarn a long time ago with this pattern in mind, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I bought it with the intention of doing a short sleeve or a long sleeve, but judging by how many balls I have, I could have done this math ahead of time and been prepared for this podcast, and I'm not. We're just gonna talk through it. But I think with how much I'm seeing that I purchased, I probably thought I was gonna do the short sleeve. But after working with it and knitting on it, I'm like, this has to at least be a 3/4 because this is too woolly for me to wear it as a short sleeve. That's going to be a completely useless, I feel, t-shirt. It'll be too warm to ever wear and not have enough sleeves to wear it when it's cold in Los Angeles, you know? So, I might have to be buying more. So the yarn I'm using is okay, I grabbed the one without the ball. No ball band. I'm using palette fingering weight from KnitPicks in Oyster Heather is this color. And then
keeping on brand with beige.
Keeping on brand with beige, exactly. I'm going through my beige phase. Yeah. I don't know if I don't know why I do it in chunks. I think I feel like that one was beige. Okay, do the next beige one and get the next beige one done and get the next beige one done. And I just kind of group them together like that. I can't find the ball band for this one, but I'm pretty sure that this is KnitPicks. I think it's Hawthorne, and I think it's Woodstock is the colorway, but I'll put it down if it's not. You know, not self-striping, but like a color changing yarn. Mm-hmm. So it's doing all the hard, heavy lifting of this sweater. You know, all of this is just happening automatically with that yarn. I did not swatch. So we're just gonna wing it. I don't know. I'll probably try to steam block it and just check the gauge before I get too much further, just to see what's gonna happen once this thing gets a little wet, but I don't know.
Are all the yarns you're using, huh? Are all the yarns you're using like the same weight as what the pattern recommends?
Yes.
Okay, so hopefully not too far off or anything like significant.
No, and if the sweater kind of it's very tight to the body, I think it has a little bit of negative ease, and I wouldn't mind it so much if mine ends up not as tight to the body, because again, like if it's a little bit looser like this one is, I think I could wear it longer, more comfortably. So we'll see. Oh my God, the world's largest fly just came into the house, and now my dog is going to be a total wreck. Sorry. Okay, the only other thing I wanted to say is they use a new type of bobble, and I hate it. I hate this bobble. You have to use a crochet hook, and I guess that added piece of equipment just like really ruins the flow for me. I like the texture. I like how it's coming out. I'm gonna keep doing it, but I hate it.
Noted.
Noted. I just like to state for the record. Also, if anyone has knit this before, the stone crop, I would love details on if you guys are carrying the yarn, the color changing yarn, if you're using a color changing yarn, if you're carrying it down to the next section, or are you guys cutting it off every time? Because there are sections of just the cream color doing like a textural pattern, and then the color work picks back up again. Oh my gosh, I can't speak today. It picks back up again, and you know me being a little bit lazy, I carried it in the first section, but now I've got a little bit more of a textured section, and I'm not sure if you'll see it like poking out of the back.
Oh, if the pattern is open enough that you would see where you've kind of like twisted it down the side to carry it through.
Yeah. I don't know if you can even see it. Probably not. It's like in this section.
Not really. And is that going to be like under the arm or in the back anyway?
It's center back.
Okay. So it's not going to be like crazy focal point, you know?
Only when I'm walking away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably we'll just carry it back. I don't know. If anybody has any recommends, if they've knitted before, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna do it the easy way. And I'm just gonna carry it down. So the biggest question on this one is gonna be, am I gonna need to buy extra yarn because I only bought enough for a t-shirt essentially? Or am I good? And some basic math would tell me the answer to that, but I've not done it yet. I was kind of counting on it wouldn't be hard to get this yarn again, but I have to admit, I'm not sure about the Woodstock color. Seems like that's going to be the one that could go wrong on me, and then I'll have whatever I bought. Okay, so there's that guy. Very addictive. I cast this on and knit all of this in probably a couple of days, and would have kept going had I not decided to go wild and crazy with some other stuff.
That we're going to talk about now.
Well, first, I'll leave it for last.
Okay.
Or last-ish. Getting all tangled in my yarn. Okay. I'm not the one who went to singing school, just so you know. Okay. Because that one had a little bit of green in it, I decided I would go ahead and cast on the green thing I have. I don't know why I am the way I am. So this is the Bolin tee. Well, I'll put the information down. Great. This guy is knit in four, I'm not gonna give you all the details, but I think you could know the structure. So this guy is knit in 4 panels, right? Like this. And then you seam it, I think, I don't know, I didn't read ahead. I think you seam it in the front and on the sides in order to get a t-shirt. It's a lot like the poncho that I did, where you have a section that you're just knitting or purling, depending on what side you're on, and then you've got a bit of lace work, and you have to think about it, and then, you get a break. But it's a dark yarn, so of course I'm only knitting this during the day, and it took a little bit to get what the lace pattern was, so this first repeat is really sus, but I think it's going to be an infinitely wearable summer piece.
I know, now looking at that, I'm like, do I need a Bolin tee?
You do. I think you do. I think you need one. And I'm doing it in the Cattail silk from Purl Soho. And this is the one I had knit the cedar pullover from Joji Locatelli in this, and it was way too tight, way too small, and it just wasn't. I love that pattern. I've knit that pattern 3 times now, and I know I could bust that pattern out again. There's another yarn in my stash of bamboo yarn that I'm thinking I'll probably do it in, but that is a purple. What is that? That is a old school 60s car, really long, in the brightest purple you've ever seen, with the most chrome you've ever seen. Not confirmed that it can dance on the hydraulics, but looks like the type of car that can. Sorry, anyways. What was I saying?
You could do the cedar pullover again.
I could do the cedar pullover again, but this just was not the right yarn for it. You always remind me that silk is actually, it conducts heat. Is that what you say?
Yeah. It's an insulator. So if you wear silk or wool, that's gonna really help keep heat in.
And as that longer sleeve pullover, I definitely got that vibe. It was way too warm. So I'm hopeful that as a t-shirt, this one is going to be fine, because it's pretty open, it's pretty loose, and I hope we're not, insulating too much during the summer. But if you had any left, and I'm not sure you have enough.
Yeah, I probably don't have enough, and I think that was also, I'll have to go through my stash, but that might have been some of what was lost in the boxes that were destroyed.
Well, you could always pick it in another color.
Yeah, because that color was, I loved it at the time and then grew to hate it over time. So yeah, I think I would definitely pick another color. But do you think is one skein, because it's you get such good yardage, it's like 600 yards or something, is that enough, or do you think it'll be 2? Sorry to make you do math.
I need to see if it's in the pattern. I've become one of those people who prints out all of their patterns. I've been doing it because when I am watching podcasts on YouTube, which I do all the time, I hate having to like stop the podcast and switch back to the app to see what the pattern says. So then I started printing them out.
You can't just do a split screen with the podcast in your pattern?
I don't know. Sometimes like HBO will do that picture-in-picture thing where it slides the picture just smaller and you can see. But YouTube doesn't want to do it. YouTube like closed out the app.
Huh. YouTube does it for me.
Maybe I need to learn how to use my tablet. Oh my God, internet boomer status again. Ugh. Okay. So you need approximately if you're gonna do the medium size, which is a finished measurement of 54 inches in circumference of the bust, because it has 15 inches of positive ease.
Ooh, damn.
Which I'm going a size down. I'm gonna do 49, which is still just 10 inches of positive ease. I think that's what I'm doing. I probably should have circled that. This is all going to get cut out while I figure out what the heck I'm doing. But I might have done the medium. Okay, we'll figure that out later. But it's okay. If I change my mind now, it's fine because it's knit horizontally. It just means I have to do less repeats. Okay, but to answer your question, yeah, I thought, okay, well, maybe I could be done now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I still have time to fix this.
I'm glad we did this.
Yes. Okay. All right. Because it's knit horizontally, I'm gonna not do as many repeats, and I haven't done enough so that we're too far gone. Okay, I can fix this. But if you were going to knit the size 2, then you need 805 yards.
Okay, so you would need 2.
Yes. Long answer. You need 2. Now that we've done the long division.
Yeah.
You would need 2. But if you had 2 of these skeins, you could do all the way up to the 60, all the way up to the 59.5 finished bust size. So 2 skeins covers a lot of people. You know, a lot of people could do this. Anyways, the problem, in addition to my math there, is I can't find the rest of this yarn, which I don't know why I'm missing it, because I literally pulled this skein out of whatever bag it was after we had moved to start this. And I was like, oh, great. Okay. So I've got all of them. I know they're all together because I saw them all together. I was like, great. You guys are all together. I'm going to start this. And then this one is going to be easy. And now I can't find where they all are hiding together somewhere in my house. So for the time being, this is where it is. And it will not progress until I get my organizational system under control in this home. Okay.
So, do you have more works in progress? Okay.
And you know what?
Oh yeah. Oh my God, I forgot it. How could I forget about this one?
This is only me hurting myself because I'm the one who has to put in all of the information and like edit this thing.
Mhm.
So I don't know why I do so much of this. Oh my gosh, it's all tangled. 20 minutes later. Okay, I'm gonna save this one for last. So one more and then it. Yes, that's it. That's all that's around me. Okay. So the love note, just a quick update.
Mhm.
I went back and I did the neckline.
All right.
And now I'm back on the sleeve.
Uh-huh. Did you end up pulling out the bind off on the first one and redoing it?
You know what I decided that I was gonna do is tuck it kind of like up around my elbow to give it more of the balloon look. And for some reason, I guess because there's not as much like this tendon flexing. There's not, there's movement in the elbow, but for some reason it felt more comfortable when I just tucked it up to the elbow and I decided I wasn't going to take it out. I don't know. Maybe I just chilled out about my issue when I tried it on again, but I've decided I'm not going to rip out this arm. I'm just going to leave it. Finish the sleeve. I've still got this much of the ball.
All right.
So I am going to pull out this guy and try and just add as much length as I can and then bind off. So we should have a proper length, well, a properly cropped sweater. It will still be short, but it won't be quite as bandeau top. Wait, is that, how do you say that? A bandeau?
Bandeau.
Not a bandeau.
It's a bandeau, not a bandeau.
Yeah, so it won't be quite as short, but still beige. And I think that's all the beige I had planned.
Okay. Now we're moving out of beige into full summer glory.
Maybe. So I didn't plan to go back to pink. It just happened. Okay. Another podcast I watch, Fibra for the People. And oh my God, the production value on her podcast, Marika puts us to shame. She has got, I looked up her camera. It would be a significant investment, but she has got a great camera, depth of field, lighting. Oh, it's all so good. She does voiceover blogs with like a nice dulcet tone. Oh, so good. Anyways, I could only wish. But she was challenging people to do a yarn play date where you try to put a yarn with another yarn that perhaps you didn't think that they were going to go well together and just, see what happens, be experimental, which I love to do because I don't know why, I just do. So I've got this very pink, what's it called? Fibra Natura Good Earth Cotton Linen Blend. It's 47% linen, 53% cotton. And I think it's about a worsted weight, I think. And I, of course, bought a sweater's quantity of it with no plan. Well, I thought I had a plan. I thought I was going to make the something sails. Anyways, it's a sideways lace pattern. I'll put it up. Marika will just have to imagine she understands, but she doesn't know what I'm talking about. But you will. So I thought I was going to make that out of it. And then I realized I didn't like this color pink. Like, I just didn't like the idea of this color pink.
Yeah, it's very bubblegummy.
Yeah.
Like, kind of intestinal.
I know. And
especially looking at it in that form.
I know. Which, what I'm making, I'm still a little worried about that.
Mm.
Did you ever see Inside Out Boy? It's
Mm-mm.
a cartoon. It's a cartoon. Like they were cartoon shorts during, I think, Nick or something like that. It's about a boy who flips himself over the swing set, comes out inside out. So, just no skin on this boy. It's a claymation cartoon.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, I'm nervous that this poncho I'm making is very inside out boy looking. Anyways, I didn't love this.
Mm.
Okay, and then I had this tussock.
Ah, so good.
So again, Purl Soho tussock. Everyone, I'm sure you're like, why do you guys always get Purl Soho? The warehouse is in Irvine, California, and so a couple times last year, or no, a couple years ago, Marika and I made the journey down to the warehouse when they were having a sale, and we just like stocked up. So we're still working through what we purchased there, and so anyways, that's why we have so many projects that have that Purl Soho stuff in it. But this one's called Guava. This is the color, which is it's a pink sort of orange.
Like a nice coral.
Yeah. I thought, what would happen if I held these two together? Because for some reason, I've decided like I cannot purchase more yarn until I deal with this pink yarn. I have so much of it, a full bag worth of it, that I don't know why I tasked myself like, you can't, there's like, it doesn't matter how perfect another yarn would be until you deal with this, get it out of your stash, you cannot do it. So then I made it my mission. And so I put these two together. Okay, so this is what we've got. Which, because of the lace pattern, I'm a little nervous that it's a little too, like, intestinal.
Mm-hmm. Too much, like that the bodies exhibit.
Yeah, I don't know. So this is also a poncho. I don't like the way I did the cast on, so I keep like flipping it under. Right, and then this pattern just keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's fine. I like the pattern.
Okay, that's good.
The pattern doesn't read like,
Yeah.
it reads more floral to me, less
Thank you.
vague,
Yeah.
So I think that's good.
So this,
and I think it's a nice color too.
Okay. I was afraid it was a little, that I hadn't done enough to get it away from the baby pink kind of bubblegum.
I don't know. I think it's a pretty significant difference.
All right. We'll continue then.
Yeah.
So the pattern is it has an accent mark. The aguas, I think that's how you say it. I don't know. I should have looked it up. It's Italian. And it's a free pattern. It's on a blog, it's charted, and it has written instructions. The only thing I did differently from the pattern is there is a lot more repeats in this neck area, and I can't, like, there's not enough space to put more up here. So I shorted the repeats on the first chart and went straight into the second chart. And I honestly, like, maybe it'll block out, but I honestly wish it was growing out faster, because it does seem like there's a lot up here, and I want it to like get down onto the shoulders faster. But since there's so much cotton in this, I think it's gonna, really flatten out when I block it. It's really gonna grow and kind of like get bigger. So that's something I'm also worried about when deciding how long to knit it, because I have like over 1,000 yards of this pink one. So you'll be seeing this in a tapestry at some point, I'm sure. But
well, and if it's cotton and linen too, it should take dye pretty well if you ever want to go that route.
maybe it'll end up being purple again somehow. But yeah, I thought maybe with the mohair, this would be a spring, summer poncho just for like evenings when it gets a little chilly, was the thought. But this is going to be a fascinating development to see how this ends up. I liked the lace pattern. I was just nervous that with like this very pinky color, it was going to look a little weird. But I'm glad you are receiving it well. So we'll keep going. Okay, I'm finally done.
Nice. Or nice to see all of the awesome projects you have in progress. Yeah, one thing I did do. Yeah, no, I think that's good. Yeah.
It's always weird because you knit it upside down, you know, you're going this direction. And during this whole section, I was like, I just don't know if it's working. It seems like it's going okay. All right. So
so since I don't really have any other works in progress to share, the one thing I did do was I went to my new local yarn store, which is aptly named The Yarn Store. And to see, like, you know, I hadn't been there in a few years, so to see how kind of what had changed, what they had in stock, all this kind of stuff. And I was looking for the navy blue to go with this feather so that I could start swatching for the bouquet. And so this is what I found.
Looks like a perfect match.
Yeah. So this is the Barocco Ultra Alpaca. And it is 50% superfine alpaca and 50% Peruvian wool. And it's really light and it's really soft. So I'm hoping it'll be a good fit. The gauge is, it just has one of those like 4 medium.
Yeah, I think that's like a worsted weight.
Worsted, yeah, which is what the pattern calls for, I think. So we'll see how it goes holding it with the feather.
Be fine.
Yeah, I don't think the feather will add that much bulk. The only thing I'm worried about is that the cord, and this is the one issue I've had, like I didn't know about the feather until I purchased some of it, was that the cord that the feathers are attached to is a much different color than the actual feathers. So that's my only concern, is like, I don't know if you can, let me see. Like up here.
It's kind of white. Oh no, it's just like a cerulean blue. No, that's not the kind of blue.
Yeah, it's just like more of a royal blue as opposed to a navy blue. So that's my only worry. And, you know, why I want to swatch is that, you know, hopefully when it's held with this, it doesn't stand out too much.
Oh my God, Marika wants to swatch.
Yeah, and I did pull out, so these are the 2 colors I'm gonna try and swatch with.
That's the Hayloft. You finally found it?
Yeah, so this is the Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in Hayloft. Nice. So yeah, this is what we're working with at the moment. Or I guess I should do this. So, you know, a little more of a statement, which tends to be where I tend to go, or kind of a little more demure, which with the feathers may be the way to go. This just may be like, have you lost your mind, woman? Whereas this could be, oh, that's a fun look.
So viewers, if you would like, you can vote down below.
Yeah,
we will not take your suggestions. She won't do it, but you can just say which one you like.
Yeah, let me know what you think. And then we'll see what I end up doing.
Exactly. Let her know what you think. It will have no bearing on what she does, but you can always let her know. Did you see that Larka Baga had a free pattern on her Instagram.
I did not.
It's a pretty simple sweater where you just like incorporate some of your scraps throughout it. So I think in her Instagram stories, she just tells you the recipe. And so it's not a written thing you can download. But check it out. I know you love her.
Yeah, I love her stuff.
Okay. So I guess that's it. Thank you all for listening to me for an hour. And Marika contributed a bit. I'm so sorry. I knit obsessively. So anyways.
Nothing wrong with that.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
All right. Happy knitting.
Happy knitting. And then the segment that is like my version of fetch that
Stop trying to make this happen.
Knits in the wild. You can cut it out if you want. But I've been watching this Netflix show called The Mess You Leave Behind.
Okay.
And the main character, Raquel, every episode is just in the best sweater ever. Like, if you want a sweater-centric wardrobe and like inspiration, she just looks like warm and comfy all the time. I love it. She has this like crazy, like this one giant pink sweater, and it's like the biggest turtleneck, and it's like a tunic, and then she has like a really good chevron one, and then some lace ones. Oh, they're all so good.
Where's this set?
I want to say Spain.
Okay.
But let me check really quick because I could be totally wrong.
Just want to know, like, what kind of climate are you supposed to be able to wear these in? Because, I hate when there is something about people who are born and raised in Los Angeles definitely feel the weather differently than people who weren't. And since I'm not, I feel like it's pretty temperate and like it's warm most of the time. This is as heavy as I think I can get away with most of the time. But, people who are born and raised here are out in full-blown North Face parkas down to their knees. Mm-hmm. And anyways, I was just trying to get a gauge on like, where is this person supposed to be?
It's like, Spain. It starts on the coast, and then I think they move further inland, and then they're in this like more rural, like by a stream, and it looks like it's fall-ish is the season, I would say.
All right. So you're gonna give me some source material. I'll throw it in. We'll see what happens, if it makes it or not. I like how once you said something about during one of your Knits in the Wild segment, you had something about the guy on Glow Up or something like that in his little bobble googly eye sweater. And then no sooner did I watch Trixie and Katya watching that, and they were both like, I can't take this person seriously wearing a googly eyed sweater.
It's so good. But yeah, no, the show is like a total like thriller mystery, blah blah blah, and I was just like, oh my god, these sweaters are amazing.
All right, we'll do it.